Why do some people seem to move forward no matter what, while others stay trapped in the same place year after year? Why do certain individuals turn goals into reality, while others collect dreams that never quite come true? What if the difference is not talent, luck, or intelligence, but one simple skill most people never fully master? The answer is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the key that unlocks your true potential. It is the quiet force that lifts ordinary people to extraordinary heights. It is the line that separates those who only dream from those who actually achieve. Today, I want to share 5 essential ways to build and master this life-changing skill. But before we go any further, there is something you must understand. Self-discipline is not about punishment. It is not about deprivation or forcing yourself to suffer. Self-discipline is empowerment. It is the ability to take control of your actions, your habits, and ultimately your future. It is about becoming the captain of your own ship, guiding it through calm waters and rough storms alike, always moving toward a destination you have chosen. Now let us begin our journey into the heart of self-discipline. The first way to master this essential skill is to develop a crystal clear vision of your future. Self-discipline without direction is like a powerful engine without a steering wheel. There is movement and noise, but no real progress. Take a moment and imagine yourself 5 years from now, having mastered self-discipline. What does your life look like? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? What kind of work are you doing? How are your relationships? What have you achieved? That vision is your North Star. It is the guide that will carry you through temptation, doubt, and challenge on the path to self-mastery. When your vision is clear and compelling, making the right choices in the present becomes far easier. But here's the truth. A vision alone is not enough. You must write it down. There is power in putting pen to paper. When you write your vision, it stops being a vague idea and becomes a commitment. When you write your vision down, you are doing more than recording words. You are making a promise to yourself. You are declaring who you are becoming and what you intend to achieve. So tonight, take a simple piece of paper and write your vision in clear, vivid detail. Describe the person you want to become, the life you want to live, and the impact you want to make. Make it so real that you can almost feel it. Here is an important habit to add. Read that vision every single day. Let it be the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you reflect on at night. Allow it to sink into your subconscious until it becomes part of how you think and act. When your vision lives inside you, self-discipline stops feeling forced. It becomes a natural expression of who you are. Now let us move to the second way to master self-discipline, building rock-solid habits. Self-discipline is not about making the right choice once in a while. It is about making the right choices consistently, day after day. And consistency is built through habits. Habits are the foundation of self-discipline. They are the small daily actions that quietly shape your character and determine where your life is headed. As has often been said, excellence is not a single act, but a repeated behavior. The challenge, of course, is that building new habits is not easy. Our minds naturally seek comfort and the path of least resistance. That is why it feels easier to hit the snooze button than to get up early, and easier to grab fast food than to prepare a healthy meal. So how do you overcome that resistance and create habits that support your vision? It begins with understanding how habits work. Every habit, whether helpful or harmful, follows the same structure. There is a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue is the trigger that starts the behavior. It might be a time of day, a location, a feeling, or even certain people. The routine is the action itself. The reward is what you gain from completing it. To build a new habit, you must shape all 3 parts. Start by creating a clear and consistent cue. For example, if you want to read every day, you might choose a specific time each evening as your signal. Next, make the routine easy to begin. Do not aim for an hour right away. Start with 5 minutes. Make it so simple that resistance fades. Finally, include a reward. This could be the satisfaction of marking progress, or a small personal treat after a week of consistency. When habits are built this way, discipline stops being a struggle and starts becoming part of your daily rhythm. Remember, the goal is to make your habits automatic. You want to reach a point where not doing them feels more uncomfortable than doing them. That is when you know you have truly mastered self-discipline in that area of your life. But here is an important warning. Do not try to change everything at once. Many people make the mistake of attempting a complete life overhaul overnight. They decide they will exercise every day, eat perfectly, meditate, read, and wake up early all at the same time. And what usually happens? They burn out within days. Instead, focus on one habit at a time. Master it before moving on to the next. This approach may seem slower, but it is far more sustainable. Over time, steady progress always outperforms short bursts of extreme effort. Now let us move to the third way to master self-discipline, managing your environment. This is a powerful strategy that many people overlook. Whether we realize it or not, we are deeply influenced by our environment. The people we spend time with, the spaces we live and work in, and the information we consume all shape our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. If you want to master self-discipline, you must create an environment that supports your goals. That begins with the people in your life. It has often been said that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Take a moment to reflect on that. Are the people around you encouraging your growth or quietly holding you back? If certain relationships are draining or toxic, you have a choice. You can limit your exposure, or if possible, raise the level of the relationship. Share your goals. Invite others to grow with you. Sometimes, your commitment to self-discipline can inspire those around you to change as well. Your environment is not only about people. It also includes your physical surroundings. Look around your home or workspace. Does it reflect the person you want to become? Is it arranged in a way that supports focus, clarity, and progress? Make it easy for yourself to make good choices. If your goal is to eat healthier, look at your kitchen. Are nutritious foods easy to reach, while unhealthy snacks are out of sight? If you want to read more, are books visible in your living space? If regular exercise is your goal, is your workout gear ready and waiting? These details may seem small, but they matter. By organizing your environment with intention, you reduce the amount of willpower you need each day. The right choices become the easy choices. Do not overlook your digital environment. Today, much of our time is spent online, and what we consume there shapes how we think and act. The accounts you follow, the content you watch, and the apps you use all influence your behavior. Take control. Unfollow content that pulls you away from your goals. Choose podcasts and videos that educate and inspire. Use tools that support your habits and limit distractions. Every notification is designed to steal your attention. When you shape your digital space, you make it easier to stay focused and aligned with your vision. Now let us move to the fourth way to master self-discipline, developing mental toughness. This is where self-discipline is truly tested. No matter how clear your vision is, how strong your habits are, or how supportive your environment becomes, challenges will still appear. There will be moments of temptation, doubt, and fatigue, moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. Mental toughness is what carries you through those moments. It is the ability to stay committed when motivation fades and to recover when setbacks occur. Mental toughness begins with a shift in perspective. Discomfort is not your enemy. In many cases, it is a sign of growth. When you push beyond familiar limits, discomfort is part of the process. Learn to accept it. Even better, learn to work through it. One effective way to build mental toughness is through voluntary hardship. This means choosing small challenges on purpose. It could be something simple, like a cold shower, a short fast, or committing to a demanding workout. The specific challenge matters less than the mindset it builds. Each time you choose discomfort, you reinforce the belief that you can do hard things. Another critical part of mental toughness is learning to manage your self-talk. Every one of us has an inner voice. For many people, that voice can be harsh and discouraging. It whispers things like, "You cannot do this," or "Why even try? You will fail anyway." But here is what you must understand. That voice is not who you are. It is simply a habit of thought. And like any habit, it can be changed. Start paying attention to how you speak to yourself. When you notice negative thoughts, pause. Question them. Replace them with something stronger and more constructive. Instead of saying "this is too hard," try telling yourself "this is challenging, and I am getting stronger with each step." Instead of thinking "I will never be able to do this," remind yourself "I may not be there yet, but I am making progress every day." Over time, this positive self-talk becomes automatic. It becomes your default mindset. And when that shift happens, your ability to push through difficulty increases dramatically. Another essential element of mental toughness is learning to delay gratification. In a world built on instant rewards, this skill matters more than ever. Self-discipline lives in the ability to say no to immediate comfort in exchange for long-term progress. One practical way to practice delayed gratification is through a technique known as temptation bundling. This means pairing something you need to do, but may resist, with something you enjoy. For example, you might only watch your favorite show while exercising, or listen to an engaging podcast while cleaning or working. Over time, your brain begins to associate discipline with pleasure, making it easier to stay consistent. Now let us talk about failure. If you are truly pushing yourself and aiming to grow, failure will happen. It is unavoidable. The real question is not whether you will fail, but how you respond when you do. Mentally tough individuals do not see failure as an ending. They see it as feedback. Every setback carries a lesson. When they fall short, they do not give up or punish themselves. They ask better questions. What can I learn from this? How can this experience help me improve? This shift in perspective is powerful. It turns failure from a source of discouragement into a stepping stone toward success. It allows self-discipline to survive setbacks, because you understand that difficulty is part of the process, not the conclusion. Another powerful method for building mental toughness is visualization. Elite performers have used this technique for decades, and it applies far beyond sports. Take time regularly to imagine yourself handling challenges successfully, resisting temptation, and following through on your goals. Make these images as vivid as possible. Engage your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? The more real these moments feel in your mind, the more influence they have on your behavior. Visualization prepares you mentally for success before the challenge even arrives. First, it prepares you mentally for challenges, making you far more likely to respond effectively when difficulties show up in real life. Second, it strengthens your belief in your ability to overcome obstacles and stay disciplined. That belief matters, because it often becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. Remember, mental toughness is a skill. And like any skill, it improves with practice. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, every time you push through discomfort, and every time you recover from a setback, you are strengthening your mental muscles. Over time, what once felt overwhelming begins to feel manageable, and eventually, even natural. Now let us move to the fifth and final way to master self-discipline, cultivating self-awareness. At first, this may sound surprising. After all, is self-discipline not about action rather than reflection? But the truth is, effective self-discipline is not about forcing yourself to follow rigid rules. It is about understanding yourself well enough to design strategies that actually work for you. Self-awareness helps you recognize your strengths and weaknesses, your triggers and motivations, and your natural rhythms of energy and focus. When you understand these patterns, you stop fighting yourself and start working with who you are. So how do you build self-awareness? One powerful method is journaling. Set aside time each day to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Ask yourself honest questions. What situations tested my discipline today? How did I respond? What triggered unhelpful habits? What strategies worked well? Over time, patterns will appear. You will begin to see when your willpower is strongest and when it tends to weaken. You will notice which thoughts or emotions often lead to lapses in discipline. And once you see these patterns clearly, you can plan around them. For example, if you notice that your energy drops in the late afternoon and your healthy habits suffer, you can prepare in advance by having better options ready during that time. Another powerful tool for self-awareness is meditation. A regular meditation practice helps you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions. It teaches you to observe them without immediately reacting. This skill is invaluable for self-discipline because it allows you to recognize impulsive urges and pause before acting on them. And self-awareness is not only about identifying weaknesses. It is just as important to understand your strengths and learn how to use them to your advantage. Notice what you are naturally good at. Pay attention to the kinds of tasks that energize you rather than drain you. Ask yourself how these strengths can support your self-discipline in other areas of life. For example, if you are naturally competitive, you might turn your discipline challenges into competitions with yourself. If you are highly social, you may benefit from an accountability partner or a group of like-minded people working towards similar goals. Self-awareness also means understanding your core values and aligning your goals with them. When your efforts at self-discipline serve something you deeply care about, staying committed becomes much easier. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your non-negotiables? What kind of person do you want to become? Do your current habits and goals reflect those values? If they do not, it may be time to adjust your approach. As we come to the end of these 5 ways to master self-discipline, there is something important to remember. This is not a one-time achievement. Mastering self-discipline is a lifelong journey. It is not about reaching a finish line. It is about continual growth, learning, and improvement. There will be days when discipline feels effortless, when everything seems to flow. Celebrate those moments. Let them strengthen your confidence in your ability to shape your life. But there will also be days when you struggle, when you fall short of your own expectations. When that happens, be patient with yourself. Stumbling does not mean failing. Get back up. Recommit. Take the next small step forward. Progress does not require perfection. It requires persistence. The path to self-discipline is rarely straight. It is filled with ups and downs, twists and turns. But as long as you keep moving forward, you're making progress. And remember, you do not have to walk this path alone. Surround yourself with people who support your goals, who challenge you to grow, and who believe in your potential. Learn from mentors and role models who live the discipline you aspire to develop. Now let us briefly revisit the 5 ways to master self-discipline we have explored so far. First, develop a crystal clear vision of your future. Let that vision guide and inspire you, especially when staying disciplined feels difficult. Second, build rock-solid habits. Remember, excellence is not a single act, but a pattern repeated over time. Excellence is not a single action. It is a habit. By consistently taking small, positive steps, you create the foundation for lasting self-discipline. Third, manage your environment. Shape both your physical and digital spaces so they support your goals and make disciplined choices easier. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth, inspire progress, and believe in what you are trying to build. Fourth, develop mental toughness. Learn to embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it. Practice delaying gratification. See failures not as defeats, but as lessons that help you grow stronger. Train your mind to keep going when things feel difficult, because perseverance is built in those moments. Fifth, cultivate self-awareness. Understand your unique strengths, weaknesses, and behavioral patterns. Use that understanding to design personal strategies for self-discipline that truly work for you, rather than forcing yourself into systems that do not fit your nature. Remember, the journey of self-discipline never ends. Every day offers a new chance to strengthen your resolve and make choices that align with your goals and values. Embrace those moments. Let each disciplined decision reinforce your commitment to growth and success. You already have the power to shape your future and become the person you aspire to be. Move forward with confidence, apply these principles, and master the art of self-discipline. I wish you good health, happiness, and steady progress on your journey. And if this message helped you, remember to subscribe to Mindset Daily so we can continue growing stronger together.